Good afternoon. Welcome to Life, Liberty, Happiness. I am back
from Michigan.
I am not.
How was your Michigan trip?
I'm going to go through my trip and want to say hi to Woody.
Hello, hello.
And, of course, DW's here.
Hello, hello.
And thank you guys for holding down the fort while I was gone.
In Michigan?
I know the ratings probably dropped a little bit, but that's okay.
Man, we got a lot of great feedback.
I know
you know.
did.
Yeah, you really
Actually,
did.
I listened to the show. It was really good.
Yep.
Very happy about it was a really good show. It really was. And I'm glad we had positive feedback as well.
That was a fun one.
Yeah. So, but I am back. And of course, I figured we'd spend a little time this afternoon talking about the trip. The famous trip.
I can't wait to hear about your Michigan trip.
It was not Michigan. I went south, which is always a good way to go.
How would you compare it to the movie RV, since you was in the RV?
No, I mean, believe it or not, we didn't have, knock on wood, any really issues with the RV itself. But yeah,
Just the people in it.
No, there are times where it gets a little hairy. So, just start it off. We decided we were going to head out on a Friday, and we drove after work on Friday to Crossville, Tennessee.
Crossville, Tennessee. Okay.
It's west of Knoxville, right off Interstate 40. It was no big deal. It was a just a quick stay over.
Yeah.
So, being fairly new to the RV world, I'm not, I'm always concerned about, oh Lord, because this time I was pulling the vehicle, so it's the RV's already 38 feet long.
It's a big one. Like when you pulled it up here,
right?
And you have a Hummer. Like no, I don't.
Right,
like,
so
you're not just pulling like a Prius behind you, like,
right? It's another 13, 14 feet on behind that. So you have to think about where you're going to go before you start doing things. So. Of course, all the way there, I'm nervous. What's this campground going to look like? It's going to be nighttime. How am I going to get in and out? And here's what I'll say above anything else that I've learned since I've been doing this. The campgrounds, or at least all the ones we've been to, go out of their way to ensure everything's perfect.
Yeah.
So we get there, and I already know we're at spot 16, right?
Yeah.
So it's a campground. You pull in, and I'm already freaking out. Because there's a building in the middle, and there's a road to the right and a road to the left.
Yeah.
Which way do I go? If I go this way, I can't turn around. There is no backing up.
You're committed.
You are committed.
That's it.
So I'm starting to get nervous. And so Ashley gets out, and she's looking around, trying to see the numbers on the sites to see if it would kind of lead us in the right direction. Yeah. And so I said, well, go over there to the door and see if there's a map. So she does. Well, it turns out there's an envelope attached to the door with my name on it. And the guy who runs the place, gave us a spot literally where you just pull straight in. Oh, and when you pull out, you're right back on the hard surface road, the main road out.
Oh, man. So you didn't have to... And just loop in.
And he even stated in the envelope, I put you here just because I knew you were going to be here late at night and leaving in the morning.
Well, what? That is so
perfect.
Nice.
Yeah,
and you're the host of that podcast, so we set you up.
Yeah, I recognize your voice.
Famous. Park wherever you want.
It's a perk, right? So then the next morning we headed to Memphis. Now, originally I had planned on doing a 2-day stay over in Memphis to tour Graceland and all this other stuff. Uh-oh. You're about to learn something about me that you probably don't know. DW does.
Yep.
You probably don't know. I'm a little bit tight with my money. So when I pull up how much tickets are to tour this thing, I wasn't anticipating what it was going to cost. And having Reagan and Logan's girlfriend and my wife, I started counting this up, and I'm like, all right, man, it was $75 per person.
Yeah.
To go through it. I'm
it's
like,
expensive.
Look, Biltmore, I probably would spend $75 because I could sit there and stare at that stuff all day long, the architecture.
You should have sent one through and let them take pictures and come back and show the rest.
That
FaceTime me while you walk through Graceland.
That would have been perfect. So And trust me, none of the rest cared.
Yeah.
So it was like good.
Yeah.
So, however, we did go downtown to Bass Pro Shop.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'll say this Bass Pro Shop is different than most. It's a pyramid. And at the very tip top of the pyramid is an observation deck where you can look over Memphis at nighttime.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, so that was worth...
And that didn't cost anything, did it? Or did
No.
it?
Well, no,
dude.
I think it was... I forgot how much it was, but...
It wasn't $7.
But there was a restaurant inside, so we
Okay,
ended up
okay.
eating there and whatever. And so then we head out the next day to Louisiana.
Yeah.
So we get there. We're at the same place that we stayed last time, but at the exact same spot. So now I'm starting to wonder, do they keep track of this stuff? Because they put me in the exact same spot that I was months ago.
Yeah.
Which was fine. We knew exactly where we were going. We pull in and everything worked out perfect. And then we spent the next 3 days, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days at that campground and visiting Logan and had dinner with his roommates and stuff, just kind of get to know people. I had fun there. So then we take out to leave to go to Outer Banks, right?
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be a 2-day trip. However, on that trip, I had not planned stopovers because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen when we get to Louisiana. I don't know if we're, I didn't know.
Yeah. You were winging it.
Winging it, yeah.
Winging it.
We head out towards Georgia. So I'm thinking I'm going to find somewhere that's about a 5.5 to 6 hour drive where we could stay. So I start researching. There's a welcome center as soon as you cross into Georgia. And I was like, I wonder if you could stay overnight at a welcome center. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
Ayers, you can, right?
I think so.
Little tidbit, if you come to Bedford, we
There you go.
have spots
Oh, yeah,
for
there you go.
RVs.
They have 3 spots.
Correct.
Right.
So I thought, well, we'll pull into there. Well, we do, and it doesn't look pleasant. It's not very welcoming. Now, Ayers may not look welcoming at night, but I think it does.
It does. It's
So-
charming. And plus it's right at the memorial, right? Yeah.
We pull in. I don't even get stopped before my wife goes, so is this it? That's all you got to say. I'm heading on
That's it.
to
No,
the next
no,
place.
honey, this is not it. No, we're going to keep going.
So this was the part that I learned. She's hungry. Everybody else is hungry. So they just want to eat.
Yeah.
So we find a Cracker Barrel 20 miles away. We head off towards that. I find out you can stay over at Cracker Barrels.
Ooh. Oh, man, that's great.
So I'm like, we pull in.
Yeah.
We get everything set up. We go inside. We eat. We come out. It's bedtime. We start to go to sleep. And I'm being the paranoid person looking out the window because, it's different.
Yeah.
So then I see another older couple pull in beside us with their camper and get out. So immediately, here's where I start to justify things in my head. They look like an easier target than my family. If they're going to take out the old people before they get to us, at least that gives me
I'll just trip
time.
them on the way out.
Right.
That'd be
I'm
fine.
thinking, so after that, I was able to go to sleep. Now
Yeah.
that I found out somebody else might get knocked off, not me.
You didn't go inside with your pajamas and sit by the fire and stuff, did you?
No, I
Now,
did not.
Cracker Barrel sounds like the perfect place, though. Eat a great dinner,
It does.
rest, and then you wake up, eat a delicious breakfast, and then
Yeah.
that's it right there.
Mhm.
Oh, man, that is perfect. I remember that.
So we did that. And then the next stay over, was in a place called Santee, South Carolina.
Okay.
Nice place. We stayed at a campground that happened to be lakefront, and it was beautiful. We fished a little bit, and I learned that you should not be within 20 yards of Reagan when she's casting because she does not care if you're in her way. It's going to get thrown whether you like it or
That's
not.
it.
So we had a good time, and we ended up finding a restaurant. It was really neat the way they did it. It was a barbecue place. So we go to it, and this place literally looked like it's about to fall down. It looks like maybe 5 barns that they have connected and renovated very little.
Yeah.
So when you walk in one door, the 4 of the barns are just literally seating areas.
Yeah.
But when you walk in, so you pay one price, and then you pick what you want, and then you go to your table. Well, anything else you want, you just tell a waitress, and she goes and gets it for you.
Huh.
so you don't have to do anything else. So
Really?
it was really cool.
What and where's this at? So you said
Santee, Santee, I believe.
Do you remember the barbecue name place? Do you?
Oh, darn you! I will. I tell you what.
I'll look up barbecue
Do
barn.
you remember the price?
Yeah, of course. I
Did you let the whole family eat?
Yes, Reagan got to eat on this trip.
Okay.
Yes. So I will look it up.
Yes.
Because it was. If you're ever going through Santee, it's absolutely worth looking into.
Yeah.
Because it's just they had everything.
That's
you can
fun.
think of.
That's fun.
And I like the way they did it. I wish, that's a neat way of doing. It's not a buff. It's a buffet, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to go back up. You just send somebody else back up for you.
That's
It's
good.
kinda neat.
That's nice.
So anyway, then of course our next leg was getting to the Outer Banks, which we did. Which I will say, this was probably my first out of season beach trip.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
different. It's different down there.
Different,
out
but
of season.
I love it.
It's better.
The Outer Banks
that's when we go.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a beautiful place anyway. But when it's less crowded,
Yep.
I like it. It's peaceful.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I spent zero amount of time on the beach.
Yeah.
I wake up, I drink my coffee, and I did go to Lost Colonies because I'm a nerd, and stuff like that.
That's
I
a
mean,
fun
it's-
visit though. Down in Manio,
Mhm.
like that's a cute town. Like you
Yeah.
can spend the day. It's charming. It's especially the downtown
Mhm.
area, that little lighthouse. That's when we go in the wintertime. It's the best time.
And I know there are books called Useless Information. I should be writing those, by
Yeah.
the way, because that's my family probably hates me because I give that information all the time. Like I'm like, oh, did you know Andy Griffith lived in Manio? Like
Family, did you know?
like they care.
Yeah.
But I did. So we did that. And before we start to lose our audience, if we haven't already, Thursday we packed up and left. We left Reagan there with the rest of my family, and we packed up and came home.
Is that because you didn't want to pay to feed her the rest of the trip?
Is it Reagan? You're out.
No, it's because Logan and I were going on a hunting trip to the river in Highland County. So
Highland County, Michigan?
No, we went on a hunting trip in Virginia,
Okay.
Highland County, Virginia, near
Man,
Monterey.
You were all over the place then. That's a good road trip.
It was a good road trip. I can say I was so excited to get in my own bed Sunday because
Yeah.
that's when we returned, was this past Sunday. But I don't know if I was so excited to finally get into it that I didn't sleep because I
Yeah.
literally didn't.
Yeah.
But I've gotten used
You're
to
good
it.
now. You're sleeping good now.
Now.
Yeah, you're
All
back.
right.
You're back on track.
So this leads to a quick story. My wife and I purchased. My brother-in-law works for Seelig. Gosh, if I get the wrong company, I'll never get in it. So he's an engineer for Seelig mattresses. So DW knows this
Yep.
because they have like this once a year event, which I don't know how they're doing it with COVID, but you literally it's not advertised. So you pretty much have to know someone who works there to know when that date is because they do not publicize it. But it's basically everything at cost.
Huh.
And they're getting rid of whatever inventory they have. And if something is changing, like they literally could change the stitching, yarn, whatever,
Yeah.
and everything's gone.
And that's
so you get to walk through their warehouse and every bed they have, and you just choose what you want. And so while I was there, I actually got DW some mattresses.
Oh, look at that.
Well,
DW.
you
What
say
a-
that.
What a great friend.
I may have just given you money and you went to Sam's and you brought me a mattress. I don't know that you really went there.
Was it a good price?
It was a good price and it's comfortable, yeah.
Well, there
So
you go.
so I'm good with the deal. I just don't know. You might have got it in Michigan. I don't know.
It could have been in the back of the RV.
Yeah.
We ended up purchasing one of those that moves.
What? You got like the
Yes.
oh man.
Yes.
That is
Now, here we go again
Yeah.
with me being tight. We
you
got
gotta
a
crank
great,
it.
we got a great deal on it. No, you don't have to crank it. I did get the electric, but my wife tried to talk me into two individual
Oh, that's the way to go.
tilts,
Oh,
and I
you
didn't. I
do
went
it.
with the single,
Come on,
and
man.
of course, I'm sure we fight over where the position needs to be every single night. But after that, here's the hard part: when you go away and you're not in your bed, we sleep with a tilted head,
Yeah.
and it's perfect. Like you get the perfect night's sleep.
Yeah.
not when you're on the road.
Ah.
So if you go in the RV, air mattresses,
You got like a wedge.
we've
up on
got
it.
wedges
Oh, my
underneath it and
gosh.
tilted. So when we get to the beach, man, the bed is horrible.
Yeah.
And we've jacked that thing up. And like we found 2x4s underneath the
Oh
house.
my gosh.
We jacked this bed up and just left it that way because it's like it was so uncomfortable.
Now, my wife has talked about that type of bed. Like she's wanted that forever.
Okay.
What is that a recommendation to get
Absolutely.
the tilting? Because she keeps saying, she was like, well, we need a mattress, and she was like, that's the one that she wanted, the one that we can adjust and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
So that's it. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
That's, man.
And listen, I am picky over how I spend my money.
Yeah.
However, here's the thing I never understood about mattresses. People always complain about the money. But if you think about it, you're probably going to purchase 2 mattresses in your lifetime. Is that about accurate?
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
And,
That's about right.
And we go nuts over
That's right. You'll buy a car every 4
correct.
years, and then
and mortgage it.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
60,
So,
72
I
months.
don't know. I would say whatever the cost, it's worth.
It's worth it.
Getting,
I've got a nice tilting mattress in my house, but it's called a lazy boy. It tilts up.
It's got an
and-
arm on the side. It's got
arm
a
on the
cup
side,
holder on
yeah.
it.
Well, so
You plug it in the wall.
we were before we ended up doing that. We were at a mattress store, and I can't do salesman, man.
No.
I just cannot do
No.
them. So I'm laying on one of the mattresses, and my wife is, and I'm like, man, this is real comfortable. So the salesman comes running over, and he was like, that thing has diamond dust in it,
He's
Right?
jumping over the bed.
and he's like, yeah, it's a cooling factor. It keeps you cool all night.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Diamond
that's
dust.
nice. And I said, well, what's the cost? And that dude said like $7,000.
Oh, that's no.
And I
That's-
said, it
no.
better cool because you just burnt my ass. I mean, what are you talking? Who's going to pay $7,000 for a mattress?
I mean,
He
it
didn't
is
know who
diamond
he-
dust though.
He didn't know who he was talking to.
No, he should have known better because that was,
Yeah.
you're not going to get your money's worth
Gosh.
in that one. So anyway, that was my trip. I would say it was a complete success. I doubt we'll do a 2-weeker
Yeah.
again anytime soon because that is a long time away.
It's a long time. You start losing track of time. Like, hey, what day is it? You know, like it's like a
yes.
weird and then when you get back, trying to get back into the routine, it's tough.
Yes.
Like it's tough. Like as much as you want to be back at home, it's like you need a couple days to kind of reset.
So anyway, that's
Well, welcome back.
yes, thank you.
We're happy to have you back.
Is there anything from last week's show we need to update in the opening announcements?
Oh no, I think it went well. The feedback went well.
Yep.
Her interview, she was fantastic, and I know for a fact she's got like a handful more TikTok subscribers.
Good.
Because I was telling people, and then
Mhm.
I heard my wife in the other room listening to the grave, like the scratching sound, and it's just the most oddly satisfying thing that. It was just a cool subject. So, yeah, I mean, went well. Feedback was well. And
Good.
appreciate the people on Facebook sharing and commenting and liking and all that good stuff. So, yeah.
Good. All right, so moving on to what's happening. As DW likes
What's
to
happening?
What's happening? All right, so I am going to get on my soapbox a little bit because I had a lot of time to listen
Mm-hmm.
while I was gone. And it's funny because Bedford is kind of its own cocoon when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
I mean, just to be straightforward, it's a extremely conservative area. So being in Louisiana, it's very, very similar. It's an extremely conservative area. Other places, not so much, but it's nice to hear other information when you're away. And one of the things that has just burned me up lately is the freedom of press.
Ooh,
and
that's a big one.
so, yeah, it used to be an old saying, right? There's always 2 sides to every story, right?
Yep.
Well, the problem I feel like we're in today's society is we're not getting another side.
Yeah.
And that doesn't, whether you're Democrat or Republican, we're not getting to hear the other side. Both sides are trying to stop the other one from speaking. And so it's a dangerous road I think we're heading down. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes to kind of run through that topic.
I agree.
If
I
that's
totally agree.
something you guys are ready for it.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm ready for it.
So I just looked up simply the freedom of press. It's the right to report news, circulate an opinion without censorship from the government. It's the right is given to you through the First Amendment, which is your right to speak. So what kind of got me moving on this territory was I was watching a press conference where Trump was speaking, and the network cut away from his press conference and said, in a nutshell, that they weren't going to continue covering it because of some of the falsehoods he was putting out. So I'm like, interesting. I can't even get that now. I mean, that's done.
Yep.
So I started to think, all right, so how does this work with freedom of press? I mean, they have the right, I guess, to cut that off. However, I'm just studying other forms of government. You oftentimes find the common thread is state-run media.
Yeah.
And while we don't have state-run media,
it's
getting to the point where you don't have the option. Like, I guess, yes or no, if I wear a Biden hat down the street, who do you feel like I would be attacked or cussed or yelled or screamed at?
No.
And I want an honest opinion. If you
Hope
feel that
not.
way.
No.
But do you think if you had a MAGA hat on, you would be treated differently?
I think you're more likely, yes.
And that's where I'm at today. I want to see both sides. I don't want anybody attacking anybody.
Yeah.
Like when you see the reports of people at restaurants and they're getting attacked at restaurants. I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat.
Yeah.
Nobody deserves to be yelled at while you're eating with your family. Never.
Yeah.
Ever. So I'm getting to the point where I'm upset about that we're excusing that's okay. But we're saying, you know what? We can't listen to, let me make a decision on what's a falsehood or not. And the example I heard the other night was, do you remember Megyn Kelly?
Yes.
She used to be on Fox. She went to NBC.
Yeah, she had like a daytime show and then that stopped. Now she's doing her own thing on Twitter, I think.
Well, it was,
and her videos.
It just happened to be something she said was, she was very alarmed at where the media is going today. And she brought that example up. And she said, let me give you an example. When I interviewed Barack Obama, I knew that you could keep your doctor and you can keep your health plan was incorrect. However, I didn't know if he knew that.
Yeah.
So when he made that statement, it was unethical for me to correct him, even though I knew the answer was, there's no way you can keep it, right? So she said, it was not, in going in journalism school, I was taught, unless you have facts to back up your claim of that's a falsehood, you don't say anything. And she said, of course, later on we find out that the whole administration knew it was just something they couldn't put out publicly or else they would never got it passed, right? Yeah. So that was her thing. She said, you cannot say that now. We're being told that's a falsehood without even looking into whether it is or not. We're just blanking and cutting people off. And so I just think it's dangerous. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
And I think everybody needs a voice, and we need to stop squashing. So I've been learning a little bit of difference between a democracy and a constitutional republic.
Okay.
So if I asked you, are we a democracy? What would your answer be?
I would say yes.
And we are not.
Okay.
And I think that would shock most people.
Yeah.
So, and if I'm wrong, I do these things in hopes that people will email the show. Because if I'm wrong, I want people to correct me. So, in a democracy, a majority rules. So there's a huge difference between a majority rule and a constitutional republic. So in a constitutional republic, it's actually written so that minorities or the weak in society would have an opportunity to have a voice. So I think the courts, can intervene, and you have a legislative branch that keeps dictators from, or presidents. And I think we're getting to that stage where we're starting to ignore that we have a constitution.
Mm-hmm.
We are putting things out here without it going through legislation. This includes our current president. That has happened too. I would rather see stuff get legislated.
Yeah.
I want to see both sides argue and come up with a plan. I don't want this is the way it's going to be, and so we're going to make it be. I don't know where it started. Maybe it's always been in our politics, but I feel like lately, if we're all going to put this on Trump, so be it. I don't believe it. I think it was done before him. Executive orders, I think they're terrible. I want to see things legislated.
Yeah,
and now it's gotten
discussed.
It's done in the state
out
level.
there, yeah.
We're not debating anymore. Debate is healthy.
I agree.
Now, I'll throw something into that. It used to be we all, whether you were Democrat or Republican, you all had a common thread. We all loved America.
Yeah.
We all agreed on certain things. Where do we find the common ground to have a debate? Because that's where I think we're losing a lot.
Yeah.
We've got to find the common ground so we can at least sit down and talk about
at least bring people to the table.
Getting things done.
No, I absolutely agree. I
And this is
we
why
no
I
longer
liked,
debate. We
well,
no
this
longer
is-
debate.
This is why I liked local politics and I don't like state and federal.
Mm-hmm.
Because at council, we all kind of have a common goal. We don't
Mhm.
agree on a lot of things, but at the end of the day, we could talk. Like, we did talk. I thought we've got a lot accomplished
Mm-hmm.
because we all kind of understood the important things of the budget, things like that, and we did all those things. The further it gets complicated as you go higher, and I think what I think, if you could, in today's technology, if you could change the way the rules are with Congress and Senate to where they have to legislate from their district, I think things would be different.
Yeah.
If you had to come home, like right now they go to
Yeah.
D.C. and you don't see them.
Yeah.
But if you had to make that decision knowing that you're still living in the area that you're representing,
That's true.
and you're going to the grocery store and
People are going to stop you.
Mrs.
They're going
Jones
to talk
says,
to you all
"Hey,
the time.
you voted for my health care,"
Yeah,
it's different.
it is.
So here locally, when you make a decision, you have to speak to people.
Yeah.
There you're shielded.
Yeah.
And trust me,
You're in a
when I
bubble.
went to Richmond, I was blown away. Because when we would meet with our state legislators, when we went to Richmond, to meet with them, even when you were on council, was hard. Because they didn't have just a secretary. They had a secretary who had a page. We're talking about one person, had like 4 or 5 different people that you would have to go through just to get to speak to.
Yeah.
So anyway, I would like to see, and any feedback we have on that, it's not our Third Amendment, it's our First Amendment. So the Founding Fathers said, this is pretty daggone important, the ability to speak. And so on both sides, I think we better recognize.
Yeah.
Because I think people forget this. When you're in charge, it's, daggone it. We don't need to hear that other side.
Yeah.
But, at some point in time, what happens when the shoe's on the other foot?
Yeah.
And so
You're right. You're exactly
I heard
right.
that a lot which I hate when they do stuff like that. They change they call it the nuclear option, I guess, in the Senate. It used to, you had to have 61 votes.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of that rule and it went back to 50 or 51 with the majority. It used to be you had to have 60 for federal judges, things like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, guess what? Then when it came back around, now it's like, oh, they shouldn't be able to vote on that. Well, you introduced it. You went down that slippery slope, and now it's here. So anyway, that segment's over with, and we can now get into some pleasantries. We would like to.
We're now off of Brian's soapbox.
Well,
It's a good one. No, it's a good topic. It's a good, it's like we've gone from media, actual news, to entertainment, and it's hard to decipher now. You've got everything's entertainment. It's like you get lost in it. It can be confusing. So I'm with you.
Okay. Yeah. We have a guest today, Erica McFaden.
Luckily, she's still here. We didn't run her off.
I'm not sure how I'm supposed to follow that.
Was it that good? No.
Well, there's no camera, so I can't put a fly on your head.
Oh.
The entertainment of the debate, which I think when that stuff happens, that's a big problem. I mean, you're talking about debate and hearing each side. How are you supposed to hear each side when all you're seeing after the debate is memes?
Oh,
Like
yes.
that?
No,
It's
I
just-
agree with
Oh,
you.
yeah, you're
drives me
right.
up the wall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, that's enough. That's all I'm going to say.
That's it.
Politically, let's. Yeah.
Well, it's for those who don't know, Erica runs the farmers market here in
I
town.
do.
Can you give us a quick synopsis of how you got to run the farmers market in Bedford?
Oh my goodness. Well, there's a long and complicated history of the
Okay.
farmers market, but essentially, the last manager was just not working out, and so we kind of got tapped by Ronnie Gross, who had done a lot to
Mhm.
help with keeping the market going. And he's friends with my husband, who's Steve McFaden, who runs Oslin Creek Livestock. So he was selling at the market,
Okay.
and he kind of asked, "Oh, hey, this isn't working out. Do you think that you guys would like to take it over?" And we slept on it after some debate and drama at the market, and
Mhm.
decided, you know what, we can do it. We can do it and do a good job. So we took it over.
Well, I can tell you, we certainly are glad because I have been down there a few times, and it has been busy.
It has been.
So that has been an extreme change from the past. I want to say when I first got on Main Street, which would have been 2014, maybe even before that, the farmers market was. Correct me if I'm wrong here, DW, but
Yep.
didn't we used to pay?
We-
The town used to pay someone to run the farmers
Yeah.
market.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, but no, it was through. Let me take
Wait a minute.
that
Can we
back.
go back to
it,
that?
uh,
Hold on a second.
It went back and forth several ways. Back
Yeah.
when the town used to have a paid position on Main Street, and one of the duties of the
That's
Main
right.
Street was to do the farmers market.
That's right.
After the paid position went away, then Main Street was kind of on its own. They was treated as an outside agency, so they got money from the town, but they also got money from the county. And then for a short time there, it was partnered with the Y, so they was going to do farmers market at the downtown location at the pavilion, do it at the Y, and part of that was that the Y had a person that was paid on their staff, and so Main Street took some of their money to help contribute for that salary to do that. And then so they'd have like Tuesday market up at the Y, I believe it was, Friday downtown, and first Saturdays, but the paid person was actually an employee of the Y, and
That's
the,
right.
the county kicked in a little bit, the town kicked in a little bit, and it was a whole big thing. And we had a farmers market committee and all that different stuff. And then it ended up to where we're at now with Ronnie starting off with a different person. And then we ended up with Erica, who has done a wonderful job. Wonderful job.
Good way to describe
Yep.
all that. Thank you.
He's
That's-
got it. He's
it's
got like a
good.
book of knowledge over there he
Yeah.
just taps into.
It allows me to continue to be PC. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
So, what is the hours? Like, is there?
Well, during the regular season, we've been operating on Fridays, which first weekend in May through mid-October this year, we went from 8 a.m. to noon. It's usually
Mhm.
1 o'clock, but with all the COVID happenings and closings, we had decided to shorten the hours a little bit because we were just dead. So maybe
Yeah.
next year things will change a little bit. We'd like to add a Saturday next season.
Mhm.
So we'll keep with our Fridays and then add a Saturday. And the vendors are cool with that. And some people won't be able to do it and some people will. But we've had a lot of folks who want to be a part of the market but can't because it's on a weekday. And it makes it really hard for folks who
Mhm.
have a side business or a side farm or a hobby
Mhm.
farm and they want to bring their produce and they want to bring what they make, but they work. They work on the weekdays and
Yeah.
it makes it difficult. But right now we have a once a month market. So we've been doing November, December. December 19th is the next one. And then we'll have once a month markets through April.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's as in Virginia, I have a place that I go hunt in right outside of Monterey, Virginia.
Michigan.
So this this is the first year that the group that I go with, who actually owned the place, decided they were going to do a garden. Right, and we're not there
Yeah.
Monday through Friday. We're only there on weekends occasionally. But we decided we were going to do a garden. And there is a person that lives nearby that can help, with the garden. So they did. So the story leads to basically we harvested a boatload of potatoes and things like that. So I will say that I probably wasn't a person that frequented the market as much as I should. However, now that I've sort of become a little more appreciative of that. Now, I mean, I grew up, my grandfather was a farmer. That's what he got paid to do, was farm by a company. So I should have known, but I didn't. And so now I have grown to respect and appreciate those who do it for a living. And I am trying to eat healthier. So I am making it a point to do more like the farmer's market because it's fresh. And
it is.
It just,
and it's local, and it's
and so I am, and so I do want to spend, and I hope people realize that we do have a good farmer's market.
And I think one of the things you'll realize when you see that since Erica took it over, that she's incorporated, and she can speak on this and expand it, but not only does she have a good selection and variety of food trucks, which seem to be pretty popular with people downtown that work in the area that can walk down there for lunch, but Erica, I think also you was able, even during the pandemic, which was I thought was impressive. Every time I come down there, when all this stuff hit, you still had a good crowd. But you was able to expand your vendors because, I mean, it's called a farmer's market, but you also work in artists, crafters, and can you tell us how that mix works well with the community and different stuff too?
I can. So I think farmers markets have morphed over the years from just farmers bringing their produce and selling off the backs of their trucks to artisans and baked goods and all sorts of things. So it really has changed in that way to bring in all of sorts of local producers and artisans and whatnot. And we just ended up, our business model is a little strange. So we never ask anybody to be a part of the market. If I see somebody who I think has some great stuff, I might give them my card, and they call or they don't call. Everyone who we have at the market right now was either an original vendor or they came to us. And I think what that has done is create a family. And so the right people are on the bus, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And if they don't mesh, they leave. And that's okay, because I think that it has to work for you that way. Yes. You have to be lucrative at the market. I think you have to make money. I think you have to be happy. If you're not happy, your customers aren't happy, and you're not making money. So people who leave go on to better things. And we are left with that core group that works so well together. And we, like, for example, we had a vendor who had a baby. We had a baby shower for her. I mean,
wow. Yeah, that's great. So you are like a fan. You are like a family.
Like a little family. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. And I feel like people came to the market this year because it was outside, and it gave folks what they felt was like a safe way to shop, where they didn't have to go to the grocery store. And for a while, we had some rules to follow where the vendors all had to be masked up, and we had to do certain things. And we still have to separate everybody out and have the social distancing and whatnot. But some of it's eased. Vendors don't have to have masks. Some still wear them. Customers, of course, are encouraged to be as safe as possible. It's social distance, and if you want to wear your mask, please do. But I feel like we increased our foot traffic because we did have this outside kind of safe area for people to shop, and that was, I think, in that way, COVID kind of boosted the market, and more people know we're out there now, which is fantastic.
Oh, so that's great. I was going to ask you, like, how has COVID and the pandemic affected? Obviously, maybe in a slightly good way.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, in that way, we were able to offer a little bit of a safer shopping way to shop. Yeah. It got a little squishy at the November 14th market because we were not aware of all of the foot traffic we were going to get. I'm going to say we saw almost 1,500 people that day.
That's great,
and
though.
We were kind of like, oh my God, all these people. And I think that was the biggest. I sent out a survey, and people didn't really complain or anything, but that was the biggest concern, that it got very narrow, and it was hard to keep your distance from people.
Sure.
So we're pushing the tents. We have to have people in tents instead of all under the pavilion, so we can have that 6 feet of social distancing. So we're going to push that back, lose a little parking, but from what we saw in November, people were willing to walk. So, and I think it's a fear for some of our vendors that people won't want to walk down. But yeah, they came in waves. I quit counting. I usually count a little counter.
Yeah.
And everybody makes fun of me. I'm like, click, 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 click the
Welcome
whole
to-
time.
Oh, that's
I
great
wanna
though.
know.
That's so great to
So-
hear.
Yeah, it's a good
So,
thing.
will you have a gender reveal for this person? Like a farmer's gender reveal. You could do a pink egg versus a blue egg.
Such an issue with those. Can we?
I know.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, no, it was Kay's Culinary Creations. Kaylee Soria had a baby, and his name is Ovid, and he's a sweet little thing, and she
cool.
brings him around, and all her whole family. She has 3 little girls, and her whole family comes, and we just love it. So that's a good thing.
So what type of things can people expect? Like, if I go down there, can I get jellies, jams? I can get fruit.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So right now we're kind of looking for more fruit vendors. We would love to have more produce, absolutely, because we do rely on Grocer's Orchard, and we all know that they do some local and some resale, and I think people appreciate him for that because they can get that variety from Ronnie, but they also want that local, so people are coming there looking, and we have several vendors at Hidden Meadows Farms, and Osland Creek does the local stuff. We had a young lady come in who had a kitchen. She said, I have a kitchen garden. Can I bring my extra? I'm like, I'm not sure how much you'll have it. Please come on. Good Lord. She did a real brisk trade in tomatoes and peppers and brought all her stuff. And so she did a real brisk trade in that. And so, yeah, you can come find jams and jellies and fruit and vegetables. But people have to remember that it's seasonal. So I get a lot of complaints like, why can't I find eggplant? I'm like, well, because it's April.
Yes.
So I have a little brochure that I hand out, and it has like a seasonal vegetable chart where you can look and see, okay, it's August, I can get this stuff. This is when broccoli grows. And
No, it's great.
and I think it's an educational issue. So I think that people want to go to the market and be at the farmer's market because they know it's a great place to be, but they want what's in the grocery store, and you can't always get that. So it's always
It's the same
seasonal.
way, though, in the grocery store. I mean, you're not going to get mixed nuts in the middle of the year. You're going to get them at Christmas
You can go
time.
to the bar anytime, Schley. I mean, come on.
Well, that's true. So are you, the question, are you originally from Bedford, or are you?
I am not. I am actually originally from Pennsylvania, but my dad was in the Marine Corps, so we moved around all over the place.
wow.
It's my husband who's the Bedford boy, so
Good.
he has a lot of contacts in the area, and his family has lived in the Good and Bedford area for good, like 1789, some horrible thing like that. So
So here's a question that you might be able to help me on. It was brought up when we were in Louisiana. So first of all, here's what I've learned from people in Louisiana. They don't know West Virginia is a second state. I mean, they still think we're one state,
Really?
and we just refer to
Oh my gosh.
Western
Feels
Virginia
like
as
another
West.
world.
That
Yeah.
honestly, they
Yeah.
believe this. They don't know that because what's funny is they actually call Alabama their West Virginia. So it's just funny that they say that. But I know it's dangerous. So it leads me to this question because it was asked by me. If I say Louisiana and food, the first thing that always comes to everyone's mind is Cajun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're known for. So they ask me, what are you known for? And it's like, I've never thought of that before. So I want to get
Moonshine.
your
peanuts.
peanuts, Virginia. That's what I said. No, I said that too.
Because we have the peanut. Yeah,
We
I'd
do.
never thought about that.
I said like
Virginia's
pies
Diner.
and
Like
cakes.
Virginia Diner, yeah.
Moonshine.
I said pies and cakes because I just grew up with my family always making fresh pies and
Interesting.
cake. That's what we did.
I don't know that I've ever associated Virginia with a food before.
Okay, so no.
necessarily.
So
And
no.
only peanuts because my husband is a nut for Virginia peanuts.
So moonshine, peanuts,
yeah, it's like Franklin
and
County
pies and
moonshine
cakes.
and
Yeah,
peanuts.
I agree with
Yeah.
that.
So that's
I
the
would go
whole
with
dinner
that.
right there.
Again, go to the bar.
Go to the bar.
Well, I-
The bar. That's what we're known for.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'll go with that. I mean,
Yeah.
because we were trying to think of
Yeah, what's
things-
our identifying thing?
food
like,
thing?
What,
We
it's
were
our
just
food thing.
because I
This
mean,
is
you
probably
think,
going to generate the most conversation on your Facebook page.
Well, I hope
That's
so.
it. Oh yeah, you're right
so.
though. Like, because if you think about it, different areas. Yeah, I'm thinking of like when
mean,
I
North
think
Carolina-
of my old town. What is like the food that's like, oh, what? Yeah,
North Carolina, you got barbecue.
You got barbecue, yeah.
right? And so I just New York pizza, cheesecakes,
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's like Virginia. Oh,
No.
ham? Don't we have ham?
Ham.
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 Don't-
You could
we-
add that to the peanuts.
Ham and peanuts and moonshine.
Now, the moonshine is true. I mean
Yeah.
that's hard to duplicate other places.
Well, now you can get the moonshine flavored in just about all of
You
that.
sure can.
I don't know anything about that.
Nope.
Yep. Another good thing that Erica does, we'll change the topic here, but she also incorporates the local high school with the FFA down there.
We've been
That
able to
is
do
awesome.
That's a lot that she has done and has them out there and stuff. So
They haven't they weren't able to come out too much because the one young lady who pretty much does a lot of their work was just like, oh, I can't do it anymore. She did so much for us. McKenna Garrett is just a ball of energy there. But she brought out, her other officers, and they would sell little things that they made and they baked and whatnot, and that was fantastic. And I have had a vendor cancel, so now I can have. They had just contacted me. Now I can have them down to do their winter fundraiser. Super excited about that.
Yeah.
So I love having young people at the market. We have several young vendors. I think our youngest is 10.
Mhm.
And then I have 2 high schoolers and then the FFA. And I love that so much.
That is so important, though, because I didn't go to school here, but I went to Nelson County, and I was a part of the horticulture program and all that stuff. And
so
we
you just graduated, right?
I just graduated last month. But like that stuff is so you would like I wouldn't think I didn't think of it when I signed up for the class, but it was by far my favorite memory, my favorite everything. Being outside, we would grow we would go out and grow stuff for the farmers market and stuff like that, and they took us on a tour of a farm. So you actually got to see the stuff, the hard work, and then we would do all this stuff. So that is, I love that is still happening, and it should never stop because that was one of the best things in high school that I can remember. Just so different. It's just so different than staring at a computer screen all day. So
it is, and only one of our kids is other than the FFA. Only one of our kids who is a producer there. He's sort of connected to the FFA, but he does it on his own. He and his grandpa grow stuff behind the house, and our other kid sells coffee and tea and hot cocoa.
Oh, that's awesome. That's it.
Claire sells gluten-free baked goods and sells out like nobody's business. I'm like, good Lord, child. I'm so happy. So young entrepreneurs are kind of my thing. I like that. I love
that's
that.
great. My uncle was heavily involved in the FFA. Matter of fact, when you go in his house, you have to see it's a plaque with he's a Hall of Fame FFA member, right? So his daughters, I think, were really but I did not know that is not the case in all high schools. It is not. And it was refreshing when I started coaching football at Liberty to see such a huge impact of FFA over there. And we do have a good program. So it is important. I mean, without it, you don't have anything.
No.
We were excited to see it move into the middle school in the past couple of years.
Oh, great.
It's kind of a push that the kids were making to please start it in middle school so they can really grow through the years. And I think we've seen the kids do so much on a national level too. And they've won awards and they've written articles, and it's Little Bedford, and here we are.
Oh, that's awesome.
Known on this national level.
There was a show, I think it's called The American Farmer. And I'm trying to remember if it was on Netflix or I can't remember what it was. But it was only one season, and I was so angry because I started watching it, and it followed 5 farmers. And one was from Virginia, and then you had like New England or New Hampshire. One was even in Alaska, which I found really cool. Just that he had developed a farm in Alaska where he could do it year round. It was pretty neat to see it. But anyway, they followed them just like you see most, reality TV or whatever. But I get addicted to it, and then they don't have a second season. And I'm like, man, because I think if people watched it, they would realize just what these people go through.
Oh, I had a chance for the Lynchburg Community Market. They wanted to do like a farm to table video series, right? So I got to follow a farmer for 2 days. Okay. As they, because they were the type, they backed the truck up to the gate and they sold right them. And they're like, all right, we want you to follow this guy and come up with a video after that. It was exhausting. Like he didn't stop. And the farm, was all around his house, and his home was right here, and he had just a cute family, but it was sun up to sundown, work all day.
Yes.
And he would get in right around dark. It was just like, I really don't think people know the exact amount of work and anything in the 2 days I was with him. Like, oh my gosh, the range of stuff that he had to know. Like, yes, farming, yes, but he had to be a slight mechanic.
Oh,
he had to be like a veterinarian. He
Not
had to be like
slight mechanic.
Oh my gosh, like he was
mechanic.
I mean, it was like the most like how in the world did not like so it was an amazing, and I agree. I think that FFA stuff like that, like okay, good, like look into that stuff to see exactly how much work goes into it. And then when you see a truck backed up and they're selling that hard work,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, don't gripe. It's local. It's wonderful. It's fresh. Purchase it with a smile on your face and know that they worked hard for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's for me. I think it was the stress.
Yes.
Like I'm watching the documentary or whatever you want to call it, and I always knew the ins and outs of farming because of my grandfather and how difficult it is. But for me, I don't think I ever knew the stress level.
Yeah.
Like this particular one was a cotton farmer, and he had looked at purchasing another, I don't know, several hundred acres, right? And his wife is his business partner. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, she's just as much on a tractor as he is.
Yep.
Well, I think he did it without her input. But he really thought he was doing the right thing to help the farm. Well, some bad things happened. Tractor went down, this, that, and the other. I want to say a lightning hit and their barn burnt down, one of them. So it just, everything that could go wrong seemed to be going wrong.
Yeah.
Just watching this guy literally see his world fall apart in a matter of days. Not just his world, but you could see the strain on the marriage. And, it's nighttime. They're both in tractors. They're trying to harvest this stuff. And she's screaming at him, this wouldn't be, if you hadn't have bought the land, blah, blah, blah. Now, it turned out to benefit both of them, and it all turned out okay, like it does a lot of times in farming. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I was never aware of the stress.
Yeah.
That amount of stress. Because it wears on them almost daily. The weather we've had lately with the rains, I mean, I can't imagine what it's like being a farmer. I mean, those are days that you're just like.
So go to the farmer's market, y'all.
Yes, let's
go.
go.
Erica,
Spend some money.
Erica, you put out a real nice newsletter that I get in the email form.
Yeah.
Can you tell people how they could get on that list to get that newsletter?
I can if I would be doing it. I think I'm going to go to monthly because it was hard to find a weekly topic
Yeah.
to talk about. So maybe bi-weekly. We certainly do have a website that you can look up, My Bedford Market or Bedford Farmers Market, Bedford VA Farmers Market, because I think there's a Bedford in every state from here to Maine.
There's one. Yeah, the one in Maine gets all the.
Right. So if you look us up on Facebook, My Bedford Market or Bedford VA Farmers Market, you can find all of the contact information, and our website is on there, and you can see the newsletter. And
I like it on your newsletter how you highlight your vendors.
We do. So I have a
that's
whole
real nice.
section
Yeah.
where we have their
good.
pictures.
That's
and
very
we talk
nice.
talk a little bit about them. So it helps when you're standing at the market and somebody trivializes what they all do. Like it's super easy. And
Oh my gosh.
So you've probably seen in the news, and I know you and I've had this conversation and talked here recently about the possibility of the town building a new farmers market at a different location.
I've heard this.
And so, a couple things on that. I know that I have spoke with a couple people on my end, and one of the things that I've said, and Brian will tell you this, that I said, when you start this and you put together, because usually in the town, the first thing we all holler do, let's put a committee together, and I said, well, if you do that, you've got to get Steve and Eric on that committee, because don't have people design and put input on the farmers market that have never even been to the farmers market.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
So I know that I have brought that up, that if it does move forward and goes there, that you, Steve, being the people that run it, should be a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, give us your thoughts on that current location, the proposed location, and what you think.
Well, before you do that, let me say this, just real quickly, because I think, to be honest with you, that originated probably from myself and Tim Black. I would say we discussed it more than anybody. And I'll give you our reasonings, and then please tell me why I'm either right or wrong.
I don't think there's a right and a wrong, but I'd love to hear the reasoning.
Yeah. So for us, for me, I didn't grow up here. However, living here over 13, 14 years now, I have gone down there multiple times. I've never liked that it is on a angle.
But that can be fixed.
Okay, yeah, it can.
Just grade the parking lot.
Yeah, that's.
Do you know that when just real quick, when the farmers market first started down there, we didn't have the pavilion. Public Works would go down there and put up one of those giant Aztec tent rentals things.
Did you say giant ass or what is it?
Both.
Giant ass.
Giant Aztec.
Oh,
rental
Aztec.
tent.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, I'm looking at a
Big
giant
ass
ass
tent.
behind you, but
Well, no, I mean, listen.
Yeah.
That was part of the reason. I just never liked that it was on a slope. Is all I'm saying. Second of all, I've never really liked that area, but it was more so. It was a comprehensive plan of thinking of the future.
Yes.
Having a brand new facility in an area that I think is starting to grow and can be a large part of Bedford. I just felt that area that we talked about behind the courthouse, if we did get a 4-story parking garage, now you don't have to worry about parking. It's all there. Then with it having an elevator, it now gets you to the upper, to the same level as Main Street. And then having that farmer's market there, it allows them to grow. That was the large part that went into the decision making. But
it was a quick decision.
No, Tim and I talked
Well-
about this for years.
Well, but the thing of it is, and being all honest here, when you start having discussions like that, now I'm a big supporter of the farmers market. Don't get me wrong, but does it look right to people in the community when a couple people behind this scene here just jump up and make that decision without any input from other people that are actually involved in that?
Right, but yes, you're right. You are right about that.
I mean, it'd be like walking up to Walmart and saying, "Hey, we want y'all to close and move over here because we think it's better over there."
No, I agree with you. There was a third leg to it, which was economic development. We thought being able to have that area for future development would be vital to that particular part.
Yeah.
But also, having a brand new farmers market was our goal. Now, what DW is leaving out is this is not set in stone, nor is, if I had to put a percentage on it, and while I'm still on council, it's coming to an end, and I would put a new farmers market getting built at probably 20%.
Man.
So
it's nowhere near.
No, it was something that was proposed.
So I shouldn't make the poster yet. But
No.
okay.
So that's just my personal opinion. I think Tim, and I'll let Tim speak for himself. For me, it was all in good intentions of a brand new facility with a fresh start, with an area that was being developed, with public works, new, building. You've got buildings that are renovated that are attaching themselves to the back of this half. I mean, we put an alleyway between a building in hopes of eventually connecting. It's a future connectivity.
Yeah, you had an idea. You had
Not just.
And I'm not opposed to it. I'm just kind of
Well, that's all right.
Give us
So
some other
I
stuff.
What does
interrupted
Erica
you.
feel?
So
What
yes,
do you think, Erica?
yeah.
tell us, and I will shut up and listen.
Well, I think there's a leg that we forget about, and that's why we have a farmer's market. So it depends on what you want that market to look like. Do you want it to look like something that is sort of an exclusive market? Because where you're talking about downtown, you have forgotten about the customers that utilize our SNAP program,
Mhm.
our people that walk, our
Mhm.
people that have absolutely no transportation from, say, the apartment complexes down by 460. We can't even get transportation of a shuttle from those apartment complexes where there is a high percentage of people who use our EBT program
Mhm.
to the market. We have a really growing and strident SNAP program. So we have a token program where if you bring your EBT card, you can swipe it, you get tokens, you also get matching tokens for fruit and produce and meats and breads and things like that. So my major concern would, like, you're really excising this part of the community. I mean, the location where we are on Washington Street, we do have that walking distance for folks who don't have transportation, for the folks that line up there at Bedford Christian Ministries to get their meals and come over and use our SNAP tokens. And, if you move it downtown, you're going to lose a lot of that. because downtown is downtown, and it is a different area. And Bedford's small, but there, like in many places, there is a great divide. And where we are now, this section of folks can come down, and that section of folks can come down, and we all mingle in this one area, and
Okay.
nobody cares who everybody is and what they're doing. You move that farmers market, you have made it exclusive. You've made it rich.
We're
You've
segmenting.
made it upper
Okay.
class. You've made it, not that people couldn't walk there, but you've made it a little bit unmindfully inaccessible
Listen,
to folks. Does that make sense?
yes, absolutely. The first time, listen, when my wife heard it, the exact words from her to me was, "You're stupid." So, and her reasonings were similar to what you just said.
And that's where my main concern lies. The other concern is you spend all this money. What is the expectation for your volunteer?
Mhm.
So my thought would be, okay, you're going to spend a couple $1 million and build this new pavilion, and it's all beautiful and wonderful.
Well, that's why I want. There is more to the story than just we're building a new farmers
Sure,
market.
there always is.
Because the first phase or leg of that was an RFP for a concept, not the design of it. It was just for a concept. So in order for them to do that, they would have to do programming, and to do programming, that is where the community would get involved.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I thought that would take place. What DW is saying is I should have had that take place before the thought even came through.
Yes.
And I understand that now. I mean,
I think, if you ask Erica this, I think this would be true, but a lot of times when people ride by, or say somebody's over at the bank and they run into the bank and they come out,
I get it.
because that parking lot connects to the bank,
Mhm.
two different banks over there.
Mhm.
Do you think that people come out of the bank and they see a lot going on down at the farmer's market? They go, hey, well, while I'm here, I'm going to walk across the parking lot and go to the farmer's market.
Absolutely.
I agree. But I also think
That might not happen at the other location
no, but you also have a 4-story parking
unless they're
garage.
coming out of court.
Exactly. That has people coming in and out of court that go, hey, I think I would like some apples.
Yeah. I just jumped bail. I'm going to go get some apples.
Well, I think that there's a lot of improvements that you could make in the regular market. How about them apples?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's important to know. And I would like, listen, if they're not going to build a new one, which again, I do not think is going to happen, the money should be spent on doing some upgrades to the one you currently have.
Sure, I totally agree about the slope. I mean, absolutely. If you can do any, raising of that area, I would love to see that. The pavilion has the long 24 seating, 24 vendor pavilion. Then we have that L. I would love to see an expansion, little L out there. I would love to see a piece of. There's a piece of land over by the Verizon building here. I don't even know who that belongs to, but I'd love to see something paved close by so people did have parking,
How
and so
about,
we could expand
Okay.
out.
How about putting a second story on your pavilion, so you, in the wintertime, you have the enclosed part up top, and
I never thought about moving up, but sure.
yep. So in the wintertime, you have a closed up top, and in the summertime, you might have a eatery or something in there, and have your open space outside and the bottom also, but have an area where people could sit and eat if they got something there.
There certainly are a lot of options to
Yeah.
improve the current position.
My thought was roll up doors. I'm a big fan of. I thought that's when I envisioned a new farmers market. It was a one with roll up doors where you can enclose them, and they would be translucent, so
Yeah.
they would let sunlight through.
I mean, indoor, outdoor.
Indoor, outdoor. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I envisioned as a farmers market. But you and I talked about
Yeah.
the issues around the city of Lynchburg and their farmers market.
Yep.
I've done the same thing you've done. I've gone there. As it used to, when I was at Wiley and Wilson, we would go to the farmers market to eat
Yes.
at lunchtime.
Yes.
Moore's Country Store was down there, and that was one of the big reasons.
Yes.
But
Yep.
we would meet, colleagues would meet down there. But if you drove around and couldn't find a parking space, you just picked a different
you just
restaurant.
kept going.
Yeah.
Now, we would like to have that problem here, and maybe we do. If we don't,
Depends on the day. Sometimes we have people circling a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah.
that's good.
I think that would be, I mean, if I had a little bit of an opinion on it. I love the idea of blending the two, even if you didn't move it, have some type of indoor thing. Because when I did
Yeah.
work downtown, in Lynchburg. I mean, we would walk. I walked up from Court Street, would walk down there, and it was just nice. It was nice to have kind of a it has a different feel to it. It has a feel to it.
It does.
You know, you go in, you eat, you feel good, and you're doing something local. But then on the other side of that, when I did not work there and I had to drive there, I just found myself going there less and less because it was like the parking was kind of weird, and it was, God, I'm hungry. I want to go. I'll just go to Fresh Market if I want that, you know. But I mean, I'm sure a lot of people battle with that. But maybe if it does not, you know, the current location is not bad in my opinion. But I also see, and I think for those of who are wondering, there like where you're at now is, you said Washington, it's Washington Street, right there. And then the other one, Brian, where you were proposing was right by the tracks, right near the bridge, basically, right behind the municipal building, down the hill, parking garage, you know. But we've talked about this. We've talked about how I think the argument, it wasn't an argument, but the opinion was that it was the same distance, you know, that you were referencing, that it was the same.
Yeah, if you stand in Centertown, it's walking distance wise, it's almost exactly the same.
If you're in the center.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
because my first thing my wife said is, "Why are you going to move it over there? It's so far away to get to it." I'm like, actually, it's not. If you look at it, it's the same distance. It's the argument that I've always had with people when they say there's nowhere to park downtown. You know,
There is.
You would park at the mall and walk 2 miles to get to a store, but for some reason, if you have to park in a parking garage or somewhere else, you think it's impossible.
It's horrible. It's
Well, one thing that we hope that'll come out of this either way, whether they build a new one down at that location, which if it is, we'll make it work, or if they stay at the other one, the best part is let's continue the talks and keep it moving and hope it don't stop either way, whether you improve the current one or build a new one.
I mean, if a new one did come through, I would really hope that the town of Bedford would step up with some transportation, because I think that's going to be the biggest argument there, that, you know, we already have a hard time with our folks who utilize our SNAP program get into the market. And we've got a couple of people who bring them. You know, it's just they bring their families.
It's a point that, to be honest with you, it's a point that I didn't even realize we had an issue. So, man, I learned something all the time.
There we go.
I didn't know we had an issue with transportation in Bedford.
Me too. I think there's a lot of people who need a shuttle, big time.
No, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Well, I'm on the Access to Healthy Foods Committee, and that's one thing that the economic development people put that together. And that's one thing we talk about all the time, and we kind of haven't been able to do too much because we haven't met so much since COVID started. But that was one of our big topics, like how do we get some transportation going from that area down by 460 over to the town to take advantage not only of the farmers market, but like Vista Foods, and even just get to town.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And that was kind of the idea when, you know, backing up to when they had the second market at the Y, was to be on a different side of town to try it out. So say, okay, this day of the week, people on this side can access it over here, and then the other day it would be over here.
right. Well, you have any more questions?
No, that's some good information though.
No, it's great.
Because I mean,
glad we
that's
had
like,
you in.
I think there's a lot of stuff that goes into, you know, like for me, you know, like tomatoes and lettuce, it's hit local. But like you said, like it's a really a community asset and a community benefit to have a thriving, healthy farmers market, community market, whatever. And for more reasons than what a lot of people may think, you know, so that's
The older I get, the more I appreciate. Like I've been watching Forged in Fire. It's like my new thing. And so I just, you know, you see stuff like that. And first of all, let me just say, if you're a 22-year-old on that show and you're winning, I mean, like how you have that kind of knowledge that young for making a knife is pretty impressive to me. But do you have any vendors that do that type of stuff? Blacksmith or...
We don't have a blacksmith. There used to be a guy who came down to the market when the Y had it. I think he sharpened knives. But I don't know who that is. So we don't have a blacksmith.
Okay. But you do have artisans and different crafts
We
and
do,
stuff. So
we do.
that's cool. That's some... Well, good. I'm glad we had you in. I hope you've enjoyed your time here. And I hope
I have.
Good.
One other thing with Erica that we need to bring up while she's here, in a conversation I had with her, she kind of issued a challenge to Bart Warner on some 80s music trivia because she's big into 80s music.
Ooh, you have stoked
Yes.
it there because he is hard to beat.
It's my goal to stump him now.
I'm telling you, you should try because I do it all the time, and it's very, very, very difficult.
I imagine that it is. Because
So
he had it right on. He's like right there with
Yeah.
all the answers.
no, you think I'm kidding? I will text him if I hear a song I've never heard before, and the first thing I do is Google it
Yeah.
to see if it's from the '80s because I don't want to cheat. And then I will. I got to the point where I got tired of asking, like, what song this is or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
it had to get to the point where not only would he give you the who sang it, but he would give you the album it was from.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
that's how in
That's
depth.
next level. See, that's not,
Mhm.
yeah.
Right. So if there's one thing we should have learned when he was here is that apparently he didn't do a lot when he was a kid because
Listen to music.
yes. So
Well, he was like the rest of us who called in a song and then had his tape cassette ready.
Yeah.
And
That's
as
it.
soon as the
That's it.
DJ stopped talking, he was
That's it. I want it. I got
hitting
it.
record and waiting. Just
So-
like the rest of us.
when I go to Monterey to hunt at the river, you don't have cell signal, and there's one radio station, and it's Mountain Valley Radio, right? So it's hilarious to listen to because you always get this old guy, and I wish I knew his name, but he would say, "Yeah, that was Pink Floyd." That wasn't Pink Floyd. And he would go through 3 or 4 different, be like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah. It's awesome.
And it's
Y'all
yeah.
Google it.
Yeah, you figure it out.
You figure it out. I'll
what
play it
song
for you.
that was. So
We
anyway.
need to start having a trivia section on this and get people to email the answer.
Yes, some people email 80s music challenge,
Yeah.
and we'll try to stump.
And we'll set up a battle between Erica and
Bart.
Bart.
That's a
yeah.
great-
Yeah, we'll have like a live stream duel. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
nothing, but I can come up with the question.
There we go.
Can I
Anyway.
bring something back around real quick?
Sure.
'Cause- So when I say SNAP and I say EBT,
Yes.
most people know I'm talking food stamps, right? So I know we live in a conservative area and I need to break a stereotype.
Sure.
So I think when people hear that, they have this certain thought of welfare in their heads and what that means. And it's negative.
Correct.
And I just need to say that the majority of folks that come down to the market are single moms.
Mhm.
They've got 3 kids. They're in their 20s and they're working hard.
Sure.
They're senior
Yep.
citizens. There's people who need help out there. And it doesn't mean that they don't have a job. It doesn't mean that they are lazy. And it doesn't mean that they are not contributing to society in a big way. It just means they need a little help.
That's right.
Yep.
And so
That's right.
when you talk about using our SNAP program and our
Yeah.
token program, it's really making sure that kids have food on the table. It's making sure that a lot of our elderly have what they need, and I think that is important to understand. So
Yes.
I don't want to end on kind of a
Sure.
tragic note there, but I need
No, but that's
I
important.
needed people
It's
to
good.
hear
That's
that.
important,
You know,
actually.
since
Yep.
that's my main argument against Schleif's wonderful idea here.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I totally get it. Hey, good part is I'm not a decision maker anymore. So you can- I just apparently plant the seeds and then take off
That's
running.
it. You just run. You go to Michigan. That's what you do.
Oh, yes. Well, someday we'll have to go over the reason you guys can think I'm hunting in Michigan. But speaking of that, my phone keeps going off.
From
and it's-
Michigan?
No, it is.
People from Michigan?
His ears must be burning because it is Councilman Black.
Oh, let's have him call into the show.
Oh, he said, yeah. Go ahead. You're
Next
go ahead.
episode. Yeah.
On
Yeah.
line 2, we
You're
have
live.
Mr. Black.
Hot
I
mic.
should have just hit him on speakerphone. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah.
And just let him go on.
Well, if he calls, do it again.
Well, he's called twice. I don't know what's going on. But anyway,
You're scared. You won't
thank
do
you for coming in.
It was
it
just
was a pleasure to meet you.
Wonderful to be here. Thank you for allowing
Yeah.
me to talk about
Sure.
the farmers market.
All right. Next segment is Nobody Knows. Go ahead, DW.
Okay, I just tried to tie something in because I did that last week and it worked out pretty well with the cemetery stuff and everything. So I'm going to tie in something as Erica spoke that she started out working with Ronnie Gross from Gross's Orchard at the farmers market. So back in 2011, some people know this, some people don't. There was a movie, B horror film, zombie movie filmed in Bedford called Plan 9. Okay. It's actually a pretty good movie. When you watch it, it's kind of corny, and I think Woody, you like that kind of stuff.
I
So,
love the B movies.
Yeah, so
like,
you
that's my
appreciate it.
favorite.
and when you watch it, you got to understand that it was intentionally
yes.
filmed to be corny. It was intentional, but they started out was going to just looking for locations, and the state of Virginia put it out. Hey, this movie company's looking for this, and I happened to be on that email trail for that, and they had a whole list of stuff and said, they're looking for a lab, they're looking for a garage, they're looking for this. So I was able to answer most of the questions. So they ended up filming 80% of the movie in Bedford. Okay.
Yeah.
Where were you when they were looking for a location for The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right?
Actually,
stand on
I
Main
know.
Street and watch Rick Grimes all day long.
and actually, somebody in this movie was on Walking Dead. So
Oh wow.
That's right. Yes, she was.
the little girl.
Oh, what is her name?
The teddy bear girl. Well,
What?
Woody, was it the teddy bear girl they called her?
Teddy bear. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Oh, I think
Addie Miller.
Oh my gosh, she was blonde, and it was her sister. I think is still on the show.
Yeah, Addie Miller is
her
real
actor,
name.
her sister. Quote. Yeah.
But what I was going to say to tie it to Gross's Orchard. So a couple of scenes were filmed at Gross's Orchard at nighttime. And some of those people, because if you watch the movie at the end when the credits roll, the production manager is yours truly.
That's awesome.
Now, it's not that I'm a production manager. Basically, what it said was at the time, the town manager said, well, you got them here, you got to babysit them. So,
Wow.
so I had to,
And that's how you become a
stay with them
production
on
manager.
locations, open up doors, take them places, whatever. But just to go to, a recap, because they was at Gross Orchards, and some of those people that I have become friends with, still in contact with, and they still call and go, hey, can you run up to Gross Orchards, get me a thing of chow chow and ship it to me? So that was pretty cool. But Brian Krause, if that name doesn't ring a bell, he has been on 7 seasons of Charmed. Have you ever seen that show?
Yes, I
Charmed?
have.
Yeah.
He is Leo Wyatt on the show. He's been in 145 episodes. And Brian, you're a NASCAR fan like I am. A little trivia on with him. He was married to Beth Bruce, who was Miss Winston Cup 1991.
Yeah. I do recall that now.
Yeah, she divorced him and married Tommy Baldwin now,
Oh, man.
who was a NASCAR car owner.
Yeah,
now.
owned it. Yeah.
Mr. Lobo. If you don't know who Mr. Lobo is, a very interesting character. And when I say character, this is a person that when he's in character, his real name is Eric Rodriguez. But when he is in character to Mr. Lobo, he is in character.
He's
And-
method.
Yes, and it's awesome. He has had his own show in California with Elvira on Friday nights called Cinema Insomnia, where they do horror movies and rate them and stuff since 2004.
I'm darned.
He was also in a cartoon episode of Scooby-Doo.
That is.
Look at that.
Yep. Matthew Ewald was also in this movie.
Ruh-roh.
When he was a teenager, a small teenager, he played Nick Bluetooth on Gallagher, Defender of the Universe on Fox Kids on Saturday mornings. And then he ended up being in Star Trek. But very neat. If you haven't watched that movie, you should go watch it. You'll see a lot of the Bedford stuff.
I will now.
Brian, you're on Bedford Avenue.
Yeah.
One of the scenes they shot was on Bedford Avenue. You'll see a lot of the Bedford stuff. I mean, that was all around here.
Plan 9.
Plan
Plan-
9.
Plan 9.
I can bring you a copy of it to watch if you
I
want.
will watch it.
He's a
like-
production manager.
Yeah.
He'll sign it for
That's
you
right.
too. Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Is it super scary and bloody? Because Steve has a problem with that.
I'm
I don't know, it is kind of bloody,
It's
right?
it's a zombie movie, so it's got some
a little bit scary.
some guts.
It's
and
as
stuff
scary
in
as you want it to be.
You know, the cool part of it is, and my wife is here in the studio audience tonight. She was there with me a lot of it. That we have pictures. It was interesting to watch, and I'll give you an example. Like down at the public workshop, that's where they filmed the garage scene. Okay, so she was down there with me 4 hours. Probably 4 hours. They filmed this scene and did it over and over, and all this neat stuff. It was maybe 2 minutes in the movie.
That's how filming goes. Yeah.
I mean, you got to watch it
Yeah.
with somebody and go,
Mm.
there it is. That was right there in the
it.
shop, But it was
Gosh.
4 hours that night.
Don't even get me started about that.
But
That
it was very neat watching how they do stuff and the makeup, because they get here in the afternoons to do makeup to shoot a scene at 1 a.m.
You
know.
brought up a quick story. I'll give you this one, DW. You said NASCAR
Yes.
and then filming. So you're familiar with Mr. Warner?
Yes.
The engineer.
Yes.
He'll laugh if he ever listens to it. We were at Martinsville and they were filming Dale Jr.'s KFC commercial.
That's right.
So they have this lady that goes around. She starts taking pictures of everybody. This is just in the campground. And so she took a picture of Mr. Warner's brother. But he, standing there, says, "Wait a minute, what are you taking pictures of?" So she says, and he said, "You're not going to take my picture?" And she said, "Sure." Well, they ended up choosing him to be in the commercial. And it was like you said, they took all these takes and, and so he's telling me, "Oh, yeah, I'm on this commercial, right?" You literally, if he didn't have TiVo at the time, you've never known it because it was that quick. It was blip, blip. Yep. He was eating a piece of chicken. That's all it was. Well, he had asked the lady how much he would make. And she said, "Oh, it depends on how long the commercial runs. You'll probably get a check or two in the mail. It just depends." And this dude, like every day would call me, "Man, I got another check and another check and another." Like it was like $17,000 later. He was still getting checks. And for a split second. So we still joke today about Flo. Like how much money is she pulling?
Oh, she's one of the hot,
because she's been doing commercials
it's like the Verizon guy that then switched to Sprint.
Mm-hmm.
Those they make bank. That's
But we went and he always used to say, like, "Hey, I got another check, let's go out tonight," because it's just free money. That's what he would say.
Now I can absolutely say that is nowhere present on the local level.
Yep.
when I do a commercial,
Right.
It is friends and family that you do not get paid. You might get McDonald's. That is about it. So
Erica, it sounds like you might want to get in a commercial and give up that phone.
That's
it.
Oh, it's still funny because I found it on the internet or something, the actual commercial, and I was trying to show my stepson, and I couldn't even hit the pause button quick enough to get it to stop on him. And it's like, that's how quick it was.
That's it.
And he's like, "You know how long we had to do that?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how many pieces of chicken did you have to eat?" So, but yeah, that did happen. So I understand your frustration, DW.
Thank you, Brian.
All right. So that pretty much concludes our show. Email. Please.
Yes.
We need all the feedback we can get. Future guests, email possible future guests that you want to hear. If there's different topics, if you think I'm crazy, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just make sure we got to. It's hard to do a show when you don't get feedback.
Yeah.
Right. You have nothing like. You want to know that we talk about this all the time. How do we get people engaged?
Exactly.
Well, if people don't respond, you don't know whether they're
That's right.
engaged.
So
or
please
not.
respond.
So
I want to know what kind of food people associate with Virginia.
Exactly. That's a question.
Peanuts, ham, moonshine, and
so far, that's what we've got.
Yes.
Please
And pies
don't
and
ever
cakes
come with
for
sweet
Ron.
potato.
And some
Ugh.
80s music trivia.
Oh my gosh. Well, everybody we have several ways to contact us. Email, it's probably the simplest. Life, Liberty, Happiness Podcast at gmail.com. Or we're on Facebook at Life, Liberty, Happiness Podcast. We usually post the episodes on there. So give us a like, share it, really appreciate it. And you can also visit the website at lifeliberty.us. And there you can actually listen to the podcast. And we are in Apple, Google, Spotify, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe because that helps us. Then that way when we release an episode, it is automatically downloaded.
Gotcha.
You get an alert on your phone that, this glorious new episode from your favorite people is now available. So there are several ways, but please, especially Facebook. I really appreciate that.
People, it's like I'm not tech savvy, right?
Yep.
And I got tickled because Logan's girlfriend, when we were picking her up, her mom said, "Oh, I just love your iPod." And we're like, "What? What do you?" And of course, Logan's girlfriend's face turns red. "Mom, it's called a podcast." And so it's
Yes.
But it's one of those things where you want people just once you go on there, it's easy.
It's easy.
You know what I'm saying?
It's super easy. And we upload it to every outlet. And even on YouTube, when you listen to the audio version on YouTube, that's where a lot of people listen to.
That's where I listen to it.
Yeah. So we've got it pretty much every corner. And if there's something that is confusing or that you want it somewhere else, let me know.
How hard is it to archive? Like if they want to hear the first episode,
If-
or if 2 weeks from now somebody says,
Yep.
I want to listen to the lady from the farmer's market.
Well,
I know,
I
yeah.
downloaded it, and all you have to do is go to your little library and bring it
Thank
up.
you.
and
There
you
you go. See,
you click
it's-
on it, and it says "Show all episodes."
That's it. If you subscribe on your phone, that's because then that way you can go back and you've listened to them. You can fast forward, whatever. So
if like we were put icons beside each episode,
yeah.
like yours would be fruit, right? No, I'm just trying to think. If you were to do that with Carter, what would his little icon be?
Oh gosh.
A little lawyer's
This is
gavel
a
or
prop bag, like whatever.
Oh,
he
there
had,
you
his
go.
trophy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we could. That would be a fun little
Yeah.
thing just to figure out.
Bart would be an MTV logo.
MTV logo.
There you go.
Back when they played video.
You don't want the moonshine as your icon? No, you don't want to remember that. Okay.
I don't want anyone to know what's in my cabinets over the fridge. So y'all watch out because you only have 2 ratings. For
I know, and rate
for a
us. That helps
5,
too.
Yeah, 5.0
Yeah.
with 2 rating. Be careful.
Hey, keep it at 5.0. Rate us
Yeah,
as long
that's
as it's
it.
good.
Mm.
But that does help. Yeah. So y'all subscribe.
So
go
what do you
to-
got to do? Right? See, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't
Yeah.
know
So
these
you can't
things.
really rate it on YouTube, but in the podcasting app, which that's what she's in right now.
Mhm.
If you subscribe, you can rate the podcast,
All right, so-
and positive ratings help help the Big Brother algorithm.
Push
Find
you up
out
the
all that
ladder.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So subscribe.
Yeah, because I still have to type in your whole Watts Creative in order to find you on YouTube.
Subscribe and then rate us. Obviously 5 stars. I don't know why you rate us anything other than that, but
Like
that's up
the
to you.
page. Y'all
Like
get
the-
51.
I know. What in the world, people?
Megan, help these people.
Help us out, Megan.
Yeah. So, I guess I don't subscribe to podcasts. So, does it cost to be a Apple or
No, it's
No,
free.
You just
It's-
sign up.
You have a podcasting app, and you download it, and then you just subscribe to our show, and then it's automatically downloaded
okay.
on your phone.
See,
Super
that's what I'm
easy.
saying. I
Super
do this
easy.
thing.
I will
and
help you out as soon as this
I do
episode
something
ends.
and don't even know how to
See,
use
there
it.
you go. It's easy. It's easy.
So easy.
So easy.
Well,
Yeah.
until the next podcast. She's gonna kill me when she hears that. So, it's been a good week. I'm glad to be back in the place I love, which is Bedford. While I appreciate visiting other places, this is home, and it is good to be back, and I'm happy to be back.
Well, welcome back from Michigan. Glad you had a good trip.
You know what?
Awesome.